We're at the Museum of Contemporary African Diasporan Arts at the opening of our fall exhibitions. So displacement, in thinking about this show and the works that we were selecting, we were thinking about, of course, displacement as a state of uprootedness, but not only a geographical kind, but also the ways in which displacement is manifested psychologically, somatically. And then from that, what our contemporary artist is doing to create new modes of being and belonging. The window gallery this season features large format print series by a Brooklyn-based artist. Her name is Camila Janan Rashid. And this series of work is called How to Suffer Politely and Other Etiquette. For this particular series, she was looking at etiquette guides, but she was thinking about that, and particularly in response to police brutality and state-sanctioned murder of people of color.
The big mission of the museum is tearing down walls. We say that we're more than a museum. You don't necessarily have to be inside the brick and mortar to experience the art that we're displaying, and so, you know, what we've chosen to put on the window gallery is something that anybody walking by, coming from Barclay Center, coming from Atlantic, it's screaming at them, really. You know, it's a bright yellow, black text, like you kind of can't miss it. And these views are very much connected to the show in the main gallery.
So here we're exploring displacement and violence, both mental and physical, and the repercussions of colonialism and oppression on our people from an international perspective.
Yeah, it's a group show. We have 6 artists who are from all over the diaspora: Zimbabwe, Rwandan, South African. And so all of these people come at this idea of displacement, of uprootedness, from very different angles and with different perspectives and different mediums too. There's photography, there's sculpture, installation work. So really looking at how we're all, as a people, sort of united by this idea of displacement, but the different ideas within that. I mean, all of the artists have experienced a form of displacement in different ways. We have one who has been exiled from his home country, another person whose country was torn apart by war and genocide, another person whose father is in federal penitentiary, has been very much displaced. So this idea of displacement, it's unifying but fractured, you know, but it's something that in this strange way really unites the diaspora.
I would invite people to just think critically about the issues that are facing them locally here in our communities, but also how that reflects on the broader context of the world we live in, you know, comparing everything from, you know, police brutality here in the US to xenophobic attacks in South Africa or the Dominican Republic. They're all related. For us, art and artists have a responsibility to use the tool of creativity to make people think. And by making people think, we hope to then encourage people to create a discussion. We don't expect everyone to agree. We don't expect everyone to have the same views as us, but we expect everyone to think critically about the issues that we're facing.
So this exhibition here today, and all of the exhibitions that MoCADA does, is about pushing the envelope, asking those critical questions, challenging people to rethink themselves, their placement in the world, and how art has the power to bring people together to discuss those very challenging issues.
I hope that visitors are considering the ways in which displacement, even though it's defined as like a sense of uprootedness, like how it's an experience that I think, as the artists show us, can be transformed and affirming, particularly in Brooklyn, thinking about how locally people are and will continue to experience displacement, and what can we do to be more mindful and aware of how we're perpetuating it or how we're experiencing it ourselves.
I don't think politeness has a place in discussing truly challenging issues. I think politeness has a place in individual one-on-one interactions with each other, but I don't think that we can be polite when we're talking about things that are life and death situations.
Whenever you are dealing with work that reflects the social political views of the diaspora, a lot of emotions are going to come up. There is a centuries old assault on our culture, and these artists are expressing that in these different ways. It's one of those things where it's like if you notice like a dirty spot on the floor and then you go down to clean it and then you're like, oh my God, this is filthy. You know, it's when you see one thing, you start to see everything. So one of the reasons that we're here, that the museum itself is here, one of the reasons that this exhibition is here, while we're deciding to show the work that we're showing, is to create a space where people can come express their ideas, express their true feelings, and these feelings be acknowledged, be recognized, be honored, and use it in a productive manner that will hopefully push the culture forward, push conversations forward, and lead to a greater understanding of who we are.